I had commented I was a finalist for a scholarship to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and I found out that day that I didn't get it. And I just brought that up. And so I said the word Kilimanjaro, and then another KDA, Sarah, said, oh, my husband and I were going to go climb Kili on our 10th anniversary. So it just kind of kept snowballing and turned into like, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we went and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro together? And then we just kept talking. And then it was like, oh, let's bring this to the board. Maybe, you know, kind of a bigger, small group of us will do this. And then it just kept growing and growing.
What if we sent a bunch of kidney donors to climb a big, tall mountain to spread the word about living kidney donation? We could literally shout it from the top of Africa.
That's exactly what she and 21 other kidney donors are going to do.
A wonderful opportunity to show that you can donate an organ and still live an active lifestyle and, you know, push yourself to new physical challenges.
I think I'm ready. I'm feeling strong. It's 8 days, 6.5 days up, a day and a half down.
Now Meyer's mission to show people they can step up and change someone's life too. To show others what life after donating a kidney is like, she'll be hiking up 19,000 feet to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. She'll do the hike with a group of other kidney donors.
We want to really let people know not only can you have just a normal quality of life after, but you can really take on all kinds of incredible things with one kidney and be just fine.
Something that's important to all of us is to normalize kidney donation. We're not heroes, we're normal people, we lead normal lives. In fact, all the donors I know, our lives are even better and more enhanced after donation.
There are currently 100,000 people on the wait list for an organ right now, and every 13 minutes in the U.S., someone dies waiting for a kidney.
My kidney recipient was on the waiting list for over 4 years and was essentially at 0% kidney function at the time of surgery. And, you know, living organ donation can change that.
It's a way to leave an imprint on the world, to make somebody's life better, to give somebody else a second chance at life.
One kidney climb!
I've had a lot of, we'll say, valleys, as most people do. So having the opportunity to do something like giving someone I didn't know a kidney is a pretty incredible way to kind of pay it forward and just kind of, you know, I feel like I've still been blessed even though I've had a lot of struggles because there have been people along the way to help me. So this feels like an extension of just giving that back.
Yeah, so it was a Saturday evening in February, and I was just putzing around the kitchen. My wife was there and just doing my thing, and the television was on in the background, and something caught my ear. I just, a story started, a news story, and it kind of stopped, and I watched it, and it literally stopped me in my tracks. I'd never been impacted by anything like that so deeply. Watched the story, looked at my wife and said, I'm doing that, I'm donating.
Animal, 100. Oh no, that stuff. Holy cow.
Hey, so today is Saturday, March 5th. It is morning 1 at base camp. Day 2, but morning 1. Day 1 went smoothly. Everybody made it up here. We had a fantastic dinner. We were all lights out by about 9 o'clock, but we're feeling great. They took our vitals last night. Everyone's doing fantastic. As you can see, we've got the base camp here. Bunch of huts, looking great. And we're ready for a great day today, so we'll keep you posted. Thanks.
Woo-woo. Morning. How we doing? Fantastic. I had a bike wreck and had donor bone and tissue in to reconstruct my wrist. And that brought donation into my world. And I met a gal who donated her kidney and was fortunate enough to meet her recipient, who told me her story of life before and after her transplant. it's really powerful and felt compelled to do it. Just really honored to have been able to give a piece of me to help improve somebody else's life.
Happy, happy.
Happy, happy.
Happy, happy.
Today we are on the mountain forest and good hiking. And it's a cool day. It's a cool day.
Good.
We are happy.
So Bill and I met 22 years ago on a helicopter up in British Columbia, and it wasn't too long till I realized that we would be fast friends. We had some of the most incredible ski trips together. It was on one particular ski trip about 13 years ago that Bill and I were skiing down in Silverton, and as I came over one roller in the hill and I looked down the steep 38-degree pitch, I made 3 of the most beautiful turns of my life. And then the entire mountain collapsed behind me. And I got just ragdolled through the trees. It snapped my tib fib. It severed my nerves and arteries. And then as I swam to the top, I was able to see blue skies. And I said, oh, thank God I'm above the surface. And that's when I saw the tree. I hit the tree and it shattered my pelvis. It was at that point that I knew I needed help. And I knew I needed the help from my buddy Bill. So Bill got on the snowmobile, he drove up to the top of Ptarmigan Peak where he could get signal, and he called in our 3 buddies who had left earlier. They were at the gas station filling up. They filled up their sleds again, got some food, got some clothes, and headed out for rescue. He also called 911, called search and rescue, and they came in. And Bill came down, built a fire. He kept me warm, kept me from getting hypothermia. And I remember him standing there, and I said to him unabashedly, Bill, if you get me out of here and I survive, if there's ever anything that you ever need, anything at all, you just let me know.
I've always wanted to donate an organ. You know, you can give to charity, you can volunteer, but if you give an organ, that really makes a difference to someone's life. I mean, really makes a difference. So I always knew I wanted to donate, but I never pursued it. And then there was an ad in the newspaper, a news story, for a public plea for a kidney. And I was reading it on the train to work. And when I got to work, I called the reporter, and she put me in touch with the Vancouver General Hospital. And that's where the journey begins.
We'll go up, cut up, right up this ridge line.
Yes.
Over there, and then kind of up.
Yeah, that's good. Every 30 minutes.
Put on that first Pink Floyd album, and then the prison on the album cover.
I knew Bill's health was deteriorating. He wasn't able to ski as long. He was really struggling. One of his kidneys had been removed, and the other one, which had problems as a child, was starting to fail. He was probably months away from going on dialysis. And he called me up. He said, Jay, I just want you to think about this. Would you be willing to give me your kidney? And I knew as soon as he asked the question what the answer was.
So a few years ago, some friends' daughter went into end-stage renal failure. And as they shared about their experience on Facebook, their need for a living donor, I kept kind of scrolling right by it for a while. And then probably 6 months in, I kept feeling a tug, like maybe I need to put my name in the hat to see if I'm a match. I felt blessed to have a healthy body, and if I could help, I wanted to help.
Good morning. It is March 6th, I think. March 6th. It's about 7 a.m. in the morning. Day 3 of hiking. A fairly easy day today. We're only going to go about 7 miles, about 2,000 feet of elevation, up to about 13,000 feet, but no afternoon session. So we hike about 4 hours in the morning, and then we got a nice, easy afternoon. We all froze last night, but we're all together, so we're having a great time. I wanted to show you the sunrise over there. That's Kili in the background, and we are having a ball. We'll speak later.
I might be able to grab it.
I had considered it for quite a long time. The more I thought about it, the more I realized it wasn't so much a question of why, but there was really no reason not to do it. I was able to make a difference in someone else's life, and I really would have regretted not ever being able to do that.
The way that donation has changed me is that it has given me a unique opportunity to change the world. I can't really think of many things like it where someone is alive when they may not otherwise have been, and whatever happens in their life, I can reflect on that and be proud that I was a part of it, and I feel grateful for that.
It's Shannon Catalano. Kidney donation has changed me because I'm always looking for ways to try to top it. I started a nonprofit, and that's been very fulfilling, and I'm constantly looking for ways to do good in this world.
I'm Steve Wilson. I donated my kidney in February of 2020. And how has it changed my life? Well, I've always wished I could absolutely save the world or help the world in some capacity, but it's a really big place, so that became a challenge. So I kind of then scaled way back and said, I can help one person, and maybe that person can help somebody else in some capacity, and that's why we did it. And I think that's what's happening. It's proven to be successful, and I feel great about it.
I'm Andrea Coleman. Kidney donation has changed my life in a number of ways. I think most of all, I gave up a part of my body, but I've gained this richness in my life that I never thought I would have. Just so many feelings of gratitude, so many friends and amazing people and amazing things I've been able to do since. It's been life-changing for me, and something I'm so lucky to have been able to do.
I would encourage them to go through the process, at least find out more about it. It really has been a high point in my life. It's been one of the most remarkable experiences I've had, and you really can have such just an incredible impact on someone's life. And really, my life is completely normal on the other side, so you can do something life-changing and be exactly the same and do things like climb the tallest freestanding mountain in the world.
My recipient for my kidney, I met her last fall, and it's Candace, and that was quite a rewarding experience in that sense. To meet her personally and understand that she was, at the very last limits of her life, and she was past dialysis and that, and she has 16 grandchildren and 4 great-grands, and a bunch of children in that, and for her to be able to live a healthy life along with my wife, it's been a rewarding experience.
Yeah, I was a non-directed donor, so I didn't know at the time. But over the course of the next year, we connected, and I was able to meet Devin a year later with his wife Paige, and really touching experience for us to be able to connect like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this is just the beginning. I think climbing Kilimanjaro and summiting is certainly a feat in and of itself, but really what's going to happen beyond the summit of Kilimanjaro in all our lives and in the life of KDA is what's going to be most impactful. I think the whole goal of explaining why we're doing what we're doing is already being far-reaching across the country. So I'm hoping to see results of people choosing to donate their kidney. Hey, how can I sign up to do that? How can I learn more about being a living donor?
What drew me more to this is that her dying son, she wanted to look after her dying son, who's only 28 years old, and he had an autoimmune deficiency. And so she wanted to stay at home instead of being on dialysis so that she could care for him at home. That was his wish, to die at home. And felt very satisfied in doing this. I felt it was my calling. I'm glad I was able to help two people, not just one. And I'm just happy I was able to help.
Good morning. Today is March 7th. It's about 6 a.m. It's day 4. We started with 22 kidney donors, and we have 22 kidney donors still with us. So it's windy out there now. It's cold out there now. Tough night's sleep. We have a long, difficult day today. Probably about 8 hours of hiking. But we'll get there, so we'll keep you posted. Rock on, kidney donor athletes.
Kilimanjaro was such a great trip for us to start with because a whole heck of a lot of people with 2 kidneys are afraid to even climb this mountain. And so for all of us to come together, all 22 of us, to have trained and practiced and prepped and done all the details, to come out here as a group using our own bodies to show what we can do. I mean, this is one of the best things I can think of to help dispel the myth that you're some sickly person post-donation.
They haven't seen examples of many people donating and going on and living normal, active lifestyles. And so I think that's what we're doing here, is showing that it's possible to donate and still challenge yourself and push your limits physically and mentally and reach your goals.
Donating a kidney does not need to limit you in your daily life, whether that's continuing what you did before or even kind of dreaming up new adventures and being able to take those on.
If I had known about Kidney Donor Athlete Group before I donated, I wouldn't have worried at all about donation. That was my only concern, was that it would change my lifestyle and I wouldn't be able to do Ironmans anymore. 3 weeks after I donated, I saw Tracy Hulick's story on the cover of the Denver Post doing an ultra marathon, and I emailed her right away. I'm like, I mean, what a great organization for people that are athletes, even if you're not an athlete, just to know that the level of training is not impacted at all. I waited until 6 weeks and I started back training, and about 6 months after that, I did a half Ironman and one of my best times. So I came back 100%.
Not sure what the day really is, but we're getting some sort of storm here. We've got about 2 more hours of hiking. We did about 4, now we did about 5 this morning, I think. 2 hours more of hiking today. Hopefully the weather changes. But we're all having a good time. We're all still together.
I have had a career of over 20 years in emergency medicine. I've taken care of dialysis patients every shift, and it's a very poor quality of life, even for those that are very compliant with their treatment. There has to be better solutions for dialysis, and certainly kidney donation, and specifically living donation, is at the top of the list.
Two different types. So you have directed, which is where you're giving your kidney to someone, and non-directed, which is how I donated, is where I'm donating into a pool. I donate my kidney to NKR. They in turn look out amongst their member partners and find the best possible match for my kidney. And that was pretty important for me. And also with a non-directed donation, that allows me to start a chain, meaning that I donate to someone, they had somebody who wasn't a match, but their kidney then goes on to someone, and vice versa. So my non-directed donation began a 3-person chain. So in turn, 3 people received kidneys because of my initial donation.
I signed up. I said I want to be a donor for my wife, and I wasn't a match, and that was hard to take. And the Mayo Clinic said, well, we have a program called the Paired Match. It's kind of a give a kidney, get a kidney type program, and we ended up in a 6-pair match, and so I gave a kidney, and it went all the way around the horn, and Annie got a kidney, and it all worked out, and you know, she's been doing well the last 3 years.
Part of NKR's program, if you donate non-directed into or through NKR, is that you are granted a voucher. And so a voucher allows me to either keep that for my family, or I can give that to a person. And what it does is it moves somebody to the top of the list. It not only my kidney donated and was given to somebody, but I also get that voucher and allow somebody to move to the top of the list. And I gave my voucher to someone that I had met in Denver through somebody I work with and actually got to know, and it moved Sam to the top of the list. And by doing so, Sam received his kidney about a year after my donation, and he's thriving and doing well.
So my kidney ended up flying to Denver to a woman, and I met her 8 months later, and we interact a few times a year. We've gotten together for a couple of our kidneyversaries, but I really like that there's no strings there, that she doesn't have to report into me on what she does or what she eats or how well she's taking care of it, because as soon as it left my body, it was no longer mine. She doesn't owe me anything.
So far, the hike has been amazing. It's beautiful. I can't believe I get the chance to do this. The company has been great. I've loved every second of it, and can't wait to get to the top with all these amazing people.
Yes.
Thank you.
To be part of this amazing community. Finding this community has really been a blessing in my life that I appreciate very, very much.
And I want to give a huge shout out to Tracy for having the vision to start KDA. It's been an amazing organization to be a part of, and it has, I think, opened all of our eyes to this new experience.
The biggest way that kidney donation has changed me is that it has made me a lot more willing to speak up when I think something needs to be said. It's not something that came easily to me before, and I didn't even want to talk about kidney donation after the fact. Didn't really want people to know, didn't want to be known for it, but it was such a generally lonely process for me. And
once I got through donation and started recovering, I didn't want that to be the experience for other people. So I was willing to speak up and start kidney donor athletes. And every day I'm glad that I made that choice to choose to be uncomfortable and be okay with that and advocate for this community.
Before I donated, I didn't know anyone else who donated. I hadn't talked to anyone. And afterwards, I was feeling kind of the post-donation blues. I felt a little bit neglected, like I'd been so focused on, and now I was kind of discarded. And I eventually found a Facebook group where I was able to share what I was feeling. And so many people commented that they had felt the same way. And then Tracy, the founder of KDA, actually sent me a message on Facebook. She had found my posts that I put up there, and so I talked to her, and I got to meet some other kidney donor athletes, and I actually met a bunch of them in person not too long after my donation, and that made me feel so much better about just how I was feeling after donation, about what I could continue to do in the future, that I could still run marathons or do anything that I wanted to do. And I had a group of people that I could go to for anything, and it's been just such an amazing support group and group of friends.
They say that donating a kidney is a selfless act, and although that may be true, I have to say that I've gained more than I ever thought by losing an organ. I've gained friendships, confidence in myself, stronger relationship, a second family, and Roger and his family, and just a ton of experiences such as this. And I never donated because I thought this would be the end result, but we've already done the act, and I think it's important that as a donor, you take advantage of these opportunities and these groups, because it is making my life so enriched in ways I never thought possible. So thank you, Roger, for being open to me about what you needed, because it's helped me gain so much more.
Hey, Sarah checking in from Barranco Camp. We just arrived a little while ago, and as you can see, it's just amazing here. Tomorrow, we're going to be climbing up and over this wall here, yeah, way up there, and all up on our journey to climb up way up high on top of Kilimanjaro. How did I get here? Is a question a lot of people ask me, you know, what made me want to donate? And the answer is I don't really have an answer. All I know is that someone said, my dad needs help, my dad needs a kidney, and I didn't even have to think about it. It was just an instantaneous decision to go through with the process.
If we turn it into the same song.
It's not always easy. My recipient had a stroke in September of 2021. And, you know, it's been a hard go for him to fight and for him to get stronger and be able to leave the hospital after 4 months. And now he's at home, you know, doing physical therapy and rehab and just trying to get back to quote unquote normal. And I really hope that for him, because part of the whole process of giving him the kidney was so that he could live a full and rich life and spend a lot of time with his grandkids. That really dialysis got in the way of before. And so I just really want to be able to see him, to see that come through for him. The best thing about KDA for me is knowing that whenever our recipients aren't doing well, that I have this community here to hold me up and take care of me and support me through that pain and stress. And so that's just a really special part of KDA that I don't think any of us anticipated when we started this.
justice.
Good morning. It's about 9 o'clock on, I guess, day 6. This is our last trek prior to summit night. It has been an epic experience, just incredibly special with these wonderful people. We've been family. We've looked out for each other. We've had more laughs than we'll ever have in our lives. You can see the beast in the background. That is still a mile above where we are right now. So it's over 5,000 feet to the top of that mountain, straight up, vertically up. We'll knock off another 1,500 today, and the balance will start at midnight tonight. So I hope you've enjoyed our journey with us, and we're going to see you at the top. Thanks.
It's important to remember that none of us are perfect or had the perfect experience. Everyone went through a few battles here and there, but overall, I know all my fellow donors are just really grateful that we made the decision and went through the difficult parts, because we and our recipients came out with so much more than we did when we came into the experience.
Yeah, Devin passed away January 13th from COVID complications. He had 3 great years. I was recently at his celebration of life. Pretty powerful experience for me to go through, to be with his wife and family and hear firsthand from them what it meant for him to have those 3 years. So again, I'm grateful for that opportunity and to experience the love that surrounded that whole bit of his passing and everybody rallying around the family.
Life has been fairly tumultuous. I had kind of a rocky childhood. I lost my father. I was hit by a tornado. All sorts of kind of wild things. So certainly have seen some valleys. But in each of those valleys, there was a person or an organization or someone who came along to help me through that. And so having the opportunity to donate a kidney and give someone some extra time felt like a great way to pay that effort forward and thank all of those people who had helped me as well.
Most people who donate, they want to tell their story. They want to communicate why. It's just part of, I think, the donation journey. And in doing so, I have impacted people who have come up to me and said, that's amazing, and because of that, I felt the need to give. I went and gave blood. I coach at a CrossFit gym, and I've had a few people come up to me in my classes and say, because of what you did, I've actually begun the process of looking into becoming a donor myself.
And it's it's powerful to have that piece of my climb and to have them as part of that. Just honored to be a little part of Devin's life and Paige's life.
So if I take a look at the entire picture here, Bill saved my life, and then I saved his. And then the two of us together have saved multiple lives since then. And as I take a look at the stories that we can tell going forward, how many lives can we all save together? That's the part that inspires me.
Hey there. It is about 2:55 a.m. We're probably about a third of the way there, you think, Andrea?
I have no idea.
Oh, we're getting there.
Trying not to think about it.
About a third of the way there. We're all still together, plugging away. We're all gonna get there.
Don't you worry, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
And they made it. 20 out of the 22 climbers summited Kilimanjaro this morning. Everyone is okay. They are all in good spirits. The group texting us, this climb speaks to our character and it led to huge achievement. The rewarding part is being able to fill our souls with the best memories about the different journeys we all took. They just wanted to be a part of making that life-changing gift to another person, and that makes the journey that much more special.